Well, hi, everybody. This is Vic Brown. I want to tell you, you listen to the Phil Henry Show. Say, all the voices you hear on the Phil Henry Show, the guests, they're all done by Phil Henry. He doesn't do the voices of the callers. That's what some people think. But Phil Henry does all the voices of all the guests on the Phil Henry Show. That's how good this guy is. You're listening probably to the most talented guy in radio, Phil Henry. Matter of fact, he's doing my voice right now. The reason why he does a voice like this is because of all the jackasses he used to listen to on the radio that talk like this. So now, without further ado, probably the single most talented guy and most creative guy in radio, a great guy, and a guy that you like to see. What a guy, Phil Henry.
1-800-449-8686. So, Lloyd, it's Phil Henry Show. Lloyd, your name's Lloyd, right?
Yes, sir. Lloyd Bonafide, Phil.
You're a Korean War veteran.
Yes, sir, I am.
So you fought the Chinese in Korea.
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, now, the story, the latest on this, in a standoff emerging as the biggest foreign policy test of his young administration, President Bush demanded on Monday that Beijing grant immediate U.S. access to the crew of a Navy spy plane forced to land in China after colliding with a Chinese fighter jet. And
now, let me say something about that, Phil, because...
All right, I got to finish the story here, though, Lloyd, because I want to find out. It's the Navy EP-3 maritime patrol plane, and he demanded the Chinese return it without any further tampering, revealing U.S. concern over the possibility the plane's classified surveillance technology has fallen into Chinese hands. Now, you're a Korean War veteran. You fought what you called the Red Chinese. I like that interesting anachronistic phrase.
Well, first of all, I want to say these fellas that put it down on mainland China, I don't think we're Navy pilots. No Navy pilot would be so reckless and have such disregard for the military code of conduct and the country he defends as to set it down in hostile enemy Red Chinese territory. And I say this with the greatest of respect for our brothers in the Air Force, but the whole thing sounds like a snafu. I think it's a big foul-up. And I serve my country.
All right, well, you don't think the Navy did it. The government is saying they were Navy pilots.
I don't believe they're Navy pilots. I don't believe any Navy pilot would land in hostile Red Chinese territory. I will tell you this. When I was in the United States Navy, I was not a pilot. I was a crewman aboard a U.S. destroyer. But I would rather ditch the plane in the South China Sea and make for Taiwan by way of life raft than to even allow myself to fall into the Red Chinese hands.
Well, this guy apparently...
Phil, I serve my country proudly, and I would rather ditch it in the South China Sea, all right? Because those Red Chinese will lay their hands on either the crewmen or the top-secret, high-security American military hardware. These people are godless because we fought them in Korea. And once again, they've got their hands on American hardware. And I would rather die, sir.
All right, hold on for a minute. You're saying this guy should have ditched the plane, whoever the captain of the pilot is.
That's correct.
Should have ditched the plane in the ocean rather than land at an air base.
Absolutely. I think any American serviceman, any member of the United States military, would rather die in the explosion of his aircraft than have to land in Red Chinese hostile sovereign territory. Now, our new President Bush...
There's 24 guys who are on board that plane.
Huh?
There were 24 men and women on board that aircraft. 24 crewmen taken into custody by the Chinese. You're going to be killing 24 people.
If you're a skilled pilot, you can set it down and make for Taiwan.
And what do you mean, set it down?
What I'm saying is, if you're a skilled pilot, the EP-3 can be ditched. You make for Taiwan in the life raft and take your chances on the beach there. But in no way and under no circumstances do I let the Red Chinese get a hold of this aircraft, which is sophisticated, high-security military intelligence hardware.
Well, there's 24 crewmen on board, the lives of 24 guys. The captain had no choice but to land in China, according to the government.
Well, Phil, when you join the military, you join with the understanding you may have to give your life for your country. Now, my 19-year-old can I give you an example of what I'm talking about?
Well, if you're giving your life for your country, that's one thing. But if there's a chance that you can save...
Can I give you the example of my 19-year-old son, Billy, 1971, he's with the United States Army near Da Nang. There was an offensive by the NVA, North Vietnamese Army. They had repelled the initial assault, and now he did something so stupid. He threw himself on a hand grenade to save the lives of 6 other guys in his squad. Now, that dumbass kills himself, and these other jokers live, even though they signed up knowing they could die in combat. These 6 jokers let that dumbass son of mine fall on a hand grenade, and that dumbass goes ahead and dies, and all he had left was 30 days in the wake-up. And I think about my son Billy, and what a dumbass he was.
Wait a minute, he fell on a hand grenade and saved the lives of 6 guys.
Right. 6 men who had signed up with the expressed understanding that when you sign up for the military, you could lose your life. Now, I say that if I'm piloting that a spy plane...
Here's the thing. That's a spy plane, and I don't know what territory they were over when they bumped into that Chinese fighter jet. The Chinese jet crashed. These guys are in a plane obviously spying on the Chinese. Okay.
I don't care what they were doing. I don't set it down, and I think the guy that landed in mainland China, it's very difficult for me to say I think he's gutless. And
I think that's harsh.
Well, it may be harsh, but no gutless son of a bee is going to make me sit in front of a red Chinese godless son of a bee and give up according to the military code of conduct. Now, I will not do that under the duress of torture, and you know that these godless bastards are torturing these boys, and may God have mercy on them.
You know what? I got to tell you something, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think the Chinese are going to be torturing anybody. I don't think that. I think that country's come a little bit further than that, and I think that.
Well, what do you know about it? I fought the Chinese
in Korea. I understand. Well, hold on. 1-800-449-8686. Where'd you get this old guy? He calls in and he wants to talk about that Navy spy plane that was shot down, and he says that he would, Lloyd, you would die rather than let the Chinese get you.
Huh?
You said to me you'd die. You'd rather crash the plane than let the red Chinese get you.
I would rather ditch in the South China Sea and make for Taiwan by way of lifeboat.
But what if you crashed the plane in the ocean and you died?
Well, it's a lot better than letting the red Chinese get their GD hands on me, and God knows what, because everybody knows any man, or woman for that matter, under the right amount of torture is going to spill his guts. I would rather ditch, make for Taiwan by way of lifeboat, take my chances on the Taiwanese coast, hope to be picked up by Coast Guard, than allow these GD bastards, the red Chinese, oh, God, I hate them, and torture me. And
would you really think the Chinese would torture you?
Look at it. They'd have them buried up to their heads in hot sand and putting burning bamboo in their ears. They probably have cages on their heads where they release hungry rats into the cages. And
you really think that kind of stuff is going on still in the world, especially with a country that is entering first world status like China?
Huh?
You think the Chinese have got cages on these guys' heads with rats in them?
I wouldn't put it past them. I think these godless sons of bees are the worst, and they're still the communists. Don't make any mistake about it. The red Chinese want they want to wipe out America and the democratic institutions thereof. I'd ditch in the Red China Sea and make way for
Taiwan by way of lifeboat and take your chances on the beach. I got it. Okay, 1-800-449-8686. It's the Phil Hendry Show. Never mind. Hold on for a minute. 1-800-449-8686. This guy says he never would have landed in China. He would have taken his chances ditching in the ocean because anybody that turns a plane over to the Chinese is gutless. I think this guy who was captaining this plane was just doing what he had to do. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show. One 800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show. If you haven't heard, a United States spy plane, an EP-3 Navy spy plane, ran into a Chinese fighter jet somewhere near China and was forced to make an emergency landing on Chinese soil. The Chinese now have the crewmen in custody, American soldiers, American crewmen of this Navy plane. The Chinese fighter crashed. We have a Korean War veteran with some experience in fighting the Chinese in war. And you made an interesting comment. You said that every man, first of all, you would have died before you let that plane land on Chinese territory.
Every man under the military code of conduct knows you do not turn over that military hardware to the Red Chinese, and you certainly don't just. I would have crashed it into a mountain. I would have drowned myself on purpose, or otherwise murdered myself, rather than let the Chinese get it. Now, I'll make you one other point. My dumbass son, who was...
Now, this is the boy, your son. He was 19. He jumped on a hand grenade?
Near Da Nang, South Vietnam, yes, sir. October 1971.
How do you call him a dumbass?
This idiot should have been in the Air Force. He was so stupid. Just like the idiot Air Force that landed at Red China. What you do is...
Yeah, but he saved these guys' lives.
Mr. Henry, you don't hear me. It is your duty to recognize that you must die for your country. That dumbass of mine robbed 5 guys.
Doesn't it make you sad that your son fell on a grenade and saved the lives of 6 men? Doesn't it make you feel sad that your boy...
Sad pisses me off is what I'm trying to tell you. This dumb, and I won't use the word dumbass, but this dumb, stupid son of a bee jumps on a hand grenade. Those 6 guys should have died for their country, not let this... And dumb boy goes ahead and says, oh, you guys don't have to die. I'll go ahead and jump on the grenade. What a dumbass. And then
Boy, it just seems to me, man, that like your son did a brave thing.
Oh, baloney! My boy I loved him dearly. He was stupid as the day is long, as dumb as a handful of dirt, and twice as ugly. And this stupid SOB lands on a hand grenade for what? That's what you join the military. You know you're going to die for your country.
Well, you know what? I was never in the military, and I was never in the military. I don't know the culture. I guess if that's what it is, then I'm not the guy. 1-800-449-8686. It's the Phil Hendry Show here, talking to Lloyd Bonifay. He's a Korean War veteran, and he's giving us a lowdown, at least, on the Chinese capture of a Navy spy plane, a plane that you say the crew should have ditched in the ocean rather than give it to the Chinese. Want to take some phone calls, Lloyd?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to talk to the people about this. I've got some limited experience having fought in Korea.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Here is Woody on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hey, Phil. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Good.
I think this guy's so full of it, I can hardly believe it.
I'm full of it.
Yeah, you don't take an aircraft, you as a pilot, and you got 23 people aboard the plane and ditch the thing in the South China Sea.
Military code of conduct.
There's no
military code of conduct says you take every measure to escape the enemy, and you certainly don't turn over hardware that is sophisticated, high security like that to the Red Chinese.
Absolutely correct. That's right. During wartime, I was on the same aircraft, worked for the same equipment, and there was no conduct.
Were you on an EP? You were on the EP spy plane, Woody?
That's right. We had the same.
Baloney.
Oh, baloney me.
Baloney. You were on a Navy flyer?
That aircraft is 40 years old. They've had that same aircraft for 40 years. The equipment is rather new, some of it, but the thing about it is there's no way...
The Chinese don't know anything about it.
Wait a minute. If it's 40 years old, I bet you the Chinese have got every blueprint that was ever made of this thing.
As far as the airplane is concerned, I'm sure they do. They probably made it 50 times.
They don't have it. They're confused by it. How do you know?
40-year-old plane, they probably got 50 of them.
That's probably so.
Both of you guys, you see, this is the problem. So, in other words, Woody, if you and I were on that EP-3 and I say, let's ditch it, make for Taiwan by way of lifeboat, you'd say, no, let's land on the Chinese coast.
I would say definitely we're going to land on the Chinese coast. We're going to get out of this plane safe.
Well, then, mister, you and I'd have a fist fight going on board that plane, airborne at 25,000 feet.
Oh, come on.
If it was 1953 and we were in Korea or something and the war was going on, it'd be a different story. But this is 2001, And this is not a war going on, and there's no code of conduct that's supposed to fix my aircraft and kill all the people aboard the plane.
All right, Woody, thanks for your call. 1-800-449-8686. That's a guy who flied on the...
Oh, baloney, he didn't fly at anything. And I tell you, to call somebody a hero who lands in China, even if he had 23 other people aboard, is a disgrace. A hero would have gone down with that plane and taken the secrets with him. You go down with the plane, you take everyone with you. That's standard military code of conduct. And taking the secrets with you.
The secrets. It's a 40-year-old plane.
The Chinese are... First of all, the Chinese, because of their occluded eyelid, have a very difficult time reading code, especially blueprint code. And
what do you... I don't understand.
Because of the eyelid, because of the occluded eye vision of the Chinese. And
they can't read blueprints.
They have a more difficult time, yes, sir. By the time they figure it out, it's too late. We've got a new one. You find a large body of water, nose down, take your chances. You put your trust in the Lord.
All right, Leslie on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering how this man can repeatedly call his son a dumbass when he saved 6 people's lives.
I beg your pardon, ma'am? I beg your pardon?
Leslie, can you hear him? He's asking you to repeat yourself. Okay, she's not there at all. All right. 1-800-449-8686. Here's Dave on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. The gentleman you got on the line there, he's 100% right about the airplane. The airplane should not have been delivered into the enemy's hands. But it concerns me the way he talks about his son. His son's a hero. His son did the right thing.
Huh?
His son did the same thing the other 6 guys should have done.
Now, wait a
but
second.
there was only one hand grenade, you know.
Well, wait a second. This dumbbell falls on a grenade and robs those 6. First of all, he gets his ass blown up, okay? And what about those other guys dying?
Well, you know, Dad, he did what you raised him to do. You done a good job raising him.
Wait a second, Dave. I didn't raise that dumbass to fall on a hand grenade. Are you kidding me? I didn't do it. And you can laugh all you want. I didn't raise that dumb son of a bee to fall on a hand grenade. And
why do you keep calling him a dumb son of a bee? I mean, doesn't...
Look at, first of all, my son is my business. He brought shame on me and the whole country by what he did, and that is very...
You really think by saving the lives of 6 men, he brought shame on the country?
I believe my son delivered shame to the United States Army. Those 6 morons that first of all, he was in a squad, the dumbest sons of bees you ever... This whole platoon that he was in, these guys couldn't find it with both hands and a flashlight. And
dumb platoon.
Huh?
They were stupid.
Oh, the guys my boy was in the Army with were stupid. And it proves it because here comes an NVA hand grenade, and dumbass falls on it. And his mother and I, every time I walk by his picture on our mantle, I just got to shake my head and laugh to myself,
Well, to me, the guy's a hero.
You read too many comic books, you watch too many...
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Look at that, you know what? Whatever, man. If you want to feel bad about your kid saving lives. Mike, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Got a question for Lloyd.
He got himself drafted, then he got himself in a situation where he had to land on a live grenade.
Lloyd, are you there?
Yes, sir. Who's this?
This is Mike. Now, I want to know, you're talking about a code of honor where this pilot should have ditched the plane.
You better believe it.
All right. And for his country and for everything this country stands for, and yet your boy jumps on a grenade for his country and everything this country stands for.
He didn't.
Call him a dumbass.
No, he did not jump on the grenade for his country. The dumbass just jumped on the grenade.
And to save his fellow countrymen, isn't that what all service military people want to do?
I don't even
for their fellow countrymen.
I don't believe. No, what are you talking about? We're saving the hardware. We're not saving lives when you ditch the plane. And when dumbass falls on a grenade, I don't know what he was doing.
If you don't have any lives, you don't have anybody to operate the hardware.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you suppose he fell on the grenade?
He didn't. He just dropped on it because he didn't think it would hurt him. See what I'm saying, Michael? What a dumbass. Okay, so that's...
he didn't think the hand grenade would hurt him.
I honestly don't believe that my son knew what he was doing. But the reason why he jumped on the hand grenade isn't because he cared about those 6 guys. They were 6 of the ugliest, dumbest SOBs. I just think he tripped and fell. I think he tripped on a root and fell on the hand grenade, blew himself into 20 pieces. Do you know that we kept getting him in the mail for about 3 months? Here's another piece of your son. And here's another piece of...
Oh, my God.
That's right. That's the United States Army for you.
All right, 1-800-449... Here's another piece. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. One 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. We're talking to Lloyd Bonafide, who is a Korean War veteran, and you've repeatedly said that your son was a dumbass for throwing himself on a hand grenade. And
Look, in my family, we don't watch all those war movies where you know, the whole idea of the war is to get over there, you shoot, you try to get the enemy, and then you get out of there. You see what I'm saying? So, and you don't fall on a hand grenade like a dumbass.
Okay, this is your son, a dumbass.
Look, I love him. I love him very much. But I'm telling you, Phil, if you met him, you would have said to yourself, this is about the stupidest guy I've ever met in my life. Literally, he'd go out and say, and I would say to him, son, you see this? This is called a day. I would say this is a day, and when the sun went down, I'd say, now this is called night. He didn't get it. Dumb? Wow.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Let me get some phone calls up here. Rick, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show. We are talking about this Chinese, the incident involving the spy plane. Rick, go ahead.
Well, first of all, as far as the spy plane goes, we're not at war with China. And I don't think they needed to ditch a 40-year-old plane and kill 23 people.
Huh?
That's not the question. If we were at war in 1953, then yeah.
Well, somebody else already made that point, but he was a veteran. Are you?
Well, that's my point.
Well, you just got that point from the guy that called in. What's your point?
My point is, first of all, you're the dumbass. Anybody that would talk about their son like you have has got to be a dumbass.
Wait a minute, I'm talking about dumbest. This kid was.
No, wait. If your son had not thrown himself on that grenade and it had gone off, would it have probably not killed all of them?
Here's another idea for you. Why did they get their butts out of there? Why did they get their butts? No, I'm not going to answer the question. I've been in combat. You haven't been in combat.
You weren't there, were you?
I've been in combat. You haven't. You
were not there with your son.
You get your butt out of there. You don't fall on it.
You were not with your son when it happened.
Let me tell you,
how can you judge what he did?
I know why he fell on it. He's dumb.
You don't know that. You weren't there.
Okay, thanks for calling. You keep making the same point here as Tom on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
He's a dumbass.
We got that. You keep making the same point, too. Tom.
Yes, this is Tom.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Lloyd, just for the record, I am a veteran. I was a veteran of Vietnam.
Well, there you go. Thank God.
I also flew reconnaissance airplanes. The airplane I flew was the OV-1 Mohawk. It was classified top secret.
I know it well.
I flew in North Vietnam and Laos.
Right.
We were not given any specific instructions on what to do with the airplane in the event it became incapacitated in enemy territory.
Fly Navy?
All right.
You fly Navy?
No, I flew Army.
Well, there you go.
All right.
That's the Army for you.
The point is, there are procedures to follow to destroy sensitive material, to keep it out of the hands of the enemy.
That's what I've been trying to tell these dumbasses that are calling in.
You see, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, you're talking out your ass, pardon my French.
I'm talking out of my ass. I know that the Red Chinese would take a highly sophisticated piece of espionage equipment and they'd monkey around with it for a while till they figured it out.
In the first place, you're assuming that they got it all in one piece. Like I said, there are procedures for disabling sensitive equipment in the event that the airplane is going to be taken by hostile countries.
Well,
there's a good possibility, I don't know for sure, but there's a good possibility all sensitive material on the airplane was damaged. If you can get rid of the sensitive material, why sacrifice your life for it?
What about this dumbbell kid of mine throwing himself on a hand grenade?
Let me ask you a question.
I can't
Can I ask you a question?
If he'd been flying that plane today, he would have landed that thing in downtown
Can I ask you a question?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did your dumbbell son get a ribbon for throwing himself on that grenade?
Well, they were mailing him back in 16 different pieces. I don't know.
Answer the question. Did he get a ribbon?
Did he get a ribbon or no?
Oh, sure, they give out those deals.
Okay.
Yeah, he got
so your country, the country you fought so hard to defend, honors your son as a hero. What ribbons do you have?
My son, I served in country in Korea.
What ribbons do you have?
I served in country. Well, I got a Purple Heart.
Okay.
Now,
you got a Purple Heart. You know what that means? That means you're a dumbass because you stood up and got shot by somebody.
No, some other dumbass rolled ordnance on my foot and blew half my foot off.
What?
So you took a Purple Heart under false pretenses.
I'll tell you what ribbons.
Some
of the pieces they mailed my kid back in were wrapped up in ribbons, but I didn't really care at the time. Now my son.
Oh man!
All right. My kid Billy didn't know enough to take the rest of these idiots with him, so that when they were captured, they couldn't give away secrets to the enemy. Now the 6 idiots are alive, and they can turn over secrets to the North Vietnamese. Do you think that's smart? I call that dumb.
Yeah, but see, you don't have any right to talk. All right, you have
You're
no
the guy.
right to talk.
You had half your foot blown off.
Blew hell out of my big toe.
Yeah.
And what?
Because you were an idiot. Because you let somebody else do it. You didn't even have the guts to stand up and get wounded by an enemy. You got to get wounded by friendlies. And you call your son a dumbass.
When I got up that morning,
I
got up that morning. Look, huh? He saved 6 guys who could have turned over secrets of the military to the Chinese. And
we're talking about the Vietnam War.
He also saved 6 guys that could have probably killed 16 or 20 of the enemy and ended the war.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're walking around one day. You're having a good time. You're smoking a cigarette. You're drinking a beer. Next thing you know, you fall on a hand grenade. How stupid is that? 1 minute you're having a Marlboro Light and drinking a beer and maybe even having some poontang, and the next minute you blow yourself up and you call that smart? Oh, man.
Oh, I don't know where you come from, but I think the rest of us, I think we're all wasting our time with you. Yeah. I think you need to be off the air and let some people with some sense talk.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your call. Do you understand what people are trying to say to you?
Huh?
Do you understand what people are trying to say to you?
Look, have you ever seen Combat, Mr. Henry?
Yeah, I saw about 6 episodes.
Isn't that funny? You know, you dishonor me, you disrespect all veterans when you answer a question like that.
No, I've never been to combat.
Then you don't know. And I'll tell you, I would far rather be drinking a beer than all blowed up. And my boy blowed himself up. What a dumbbell, God. And I look at that picture and I go, you know, you could be here sucking a beer, maybe chasing a little tail, getting your weasel greased. Next thing you know, dumbbell blowed up.
Sandra, you're on the Phil Henry Show. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to know, how could he call himself a father to dishonor his son like that?
Dishonoring my son?
You are dishonoring your son's name.
I loved him.
How can you say that? And how can you call yourself an American when you're sitting there and he gave his life for 6 people? I'm American and I'm proud of your son.
Yeah.
Sandra, hold on. We can barely hear you. Are you on a car phone of some kind?
No, I'm not on a car phone.
Oh, then you're going to have to back off the phone or something because it's like you're shouting into it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Look, my son, I just said to the other guy, one day he's got himself a little quiff in a downtown Saigon hotel. Next minute he's blowed up.
That has nothing to do with it. He gave his life for 6 other people to live. And that was honorable.
And
it doesn't matter if he saved a plane or not. That doesn't matter. He saved 6 other people's lives, and you should have honor for him.
6 other guys that could have turned over secrets to the Red Chinese. You think that's smart?
Well, how do you know they weren't 6 other guys that, helped end the war?
We lost that war. Let me tell you something. It's a good thing. You know, the only hope we got about this plane that landed over there in China is the Chinese can't read those blueprints because they're occluded eyes. Now, they've got the heavy lid, which makes it difficult for them.
What is this, some kind of quasi-science?
No, you're not a father to get on the radio and badmouth your son. I have a son. If my son did
you never yelled at your son?
Him.
You never told your son that he was dumb?
Never.
You never? He probably pulled the short straw. I don't think my son was a hero. I don't think my son was a hero. I think he pulled the short straw. He's a dumbbell.
You are a stupid, ignorant man. Is what you are.
You just called me stupid. I bet you called your son stupid, too.
I have never called my son stupid. I am proud of everything my son does.
Well, I can't think much of any woman who buys a car phone like the one you got. No, sir, I can't.
Well,
All right.
You are a stupid, ignorant person.
Well,
I have no more to say to you because you got no lick of sense to get around and talk about your son the way you have.
Well, I can't believe even if you had more to say to me, I wouldn't be able to understand you because of that cheap football phone you're on.
Okay.
I'm not on a football phone, honey.
You're on a cheap-ass football phone.
You know what? You have no sense to sit there and cuss people and talk the way you do because you got no sense.
Ma'am, I fucking agree.
Honor your son.
Ma'am,
when
I
your
fucking
son
agree.
got a medal for doing what he did.
He got a medal for being dumbbell.
Man.
He got the dumbbell medal. He got the DM, which is the dumbbell medal. And I fought in Korea so that you wouldn't have to talk into a phone made out of a Dixie cup and a thread. But I see you didn't get the memo. And I guess you hung up. Could you put your mouth away from the receiver? You remember that. Mouth off of.
Okay. 1-800-449-86. Didn't get the memo. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Henry Show. One 800-449-8686. Barbara Streisand has memoed other top Democrats, calling President Bush a destructive man. Singing legend Barbara Streisand on Monday fired off a blistering 3-page memo to top Democrats in Washington, calling for a strong strategic target offensive against the Republican Revolution. This is not the time to be weak, Streisand writes in the memo titled Nice Guys Finish Last, sent last week to several dozen top Democratic legislators and released to media outlets Monday through her publicist.
That is in Riverside. It was on last Saturday, and I was with a co-worker of mine, second shot to the
house and find
a manor.
Tape you.
Americans, funny is the kind of that there needs to be secure. If I
tape by a friend,
probably for my golf ball.
Gentlemen in Port Hueneme
are more vicious and more dangerous than
caller in Port Hueneme. It's not.
Sure, I am. I have learned, and I'll go.
100-5201 KFI in Orange County, 5201 KFI in LA County. Phil Henry Show, KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio.
This is bullshit. I don't believe it.
Phil Henry.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Mr. Steve Bozell is my guest. He is owns a construction firm in Corona. He was golfing on a golf course in Riverside on Saturday. Was apparently startled, very frightened actually, by a wild coyote that was on the course. And apparently his reactions to this, which included him screaming. And can you tell me, Mr. Bozell, and again, I don't want to embarrass you, but what were the reactions that you take exception to having been videotaped by your friend?
Well, sir, I mean, you have to understand, you know, you're confronted with a wild animal. I did scream. I let out, I suppose, you know, you could call it a high-pitched scream. I was, as I said, I urinated myself. I soiled myself a little bit, and when I got home, I noticed that you know, that there was a little bit in the back area too. So I had.
You were very frightened.
I was very frightened. Yes. Now he videotaped that, took it home, got a big laugh out of it, and starts mentioning that he's going to put it on American Video, on the funny video show, and. I had talked to my attorney, and my attorney tells me that this is very common and that programs like American Funny Video Show exploits and holds up to look like a fool millions of American people who, even though this is entertaining for most people, millions of American people are being made to look like a fool by this show. And by incidences like that, hundreds of millions. And so that's what I talked to my attorney about, and he advises me that is the case.
All right, let's go to Rialto on KFI AM 640. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Phil, listen, man. I don't understand this guy because, I mean, first of all, I can't wait to see this thing on TV. Now, he's sitting on the radio.
I'll tell you something. If you do see it on TV, there's going to be one sued son of a bitch in Corona by the name of Roy Neary.
Hey, listen, but you sitting up here telling a million people what you have already done. Now, how stupid is that?
Well, I will tell you this much, sir. It's one thing to protect yourself legally and to point up those points of law which will back you up.
But you haven't pointed out any law. You don't know anything about the law. And your lawyer didn't tell you anything about the law.
My lawyer tells me that these programs, like the funny video, What's that?
All you're saying is that is that it's something that everybody does, or that company, that the home video does.
Well,
but you're sitting there telling everybody out here that listens to Phil Henry show what you did to yourself. You peed on yourself and you defecated on yourself. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, man, that's a crack up. Now, it's a funny thing. Now, if you were out there and you saw somebody that ran and they peed on themselves, you'd be laughing, too. It just happens to be you.
That's fine. You may think it's funny, but if it happened to you, if you messed yourself...
Hey, I have been scared that much, man, where I peed on myself. But, yeah, after the fact, it was funny. Now, it didn't hurt you. It didn't... I mean, it didn't... the only problem is that your pride was hurt.
The gentleman's making a good point, Mr. Moselle. Are you there?
Hold on for a minute.
I can understand this is upsetting to you, sir. Mr. Moselle?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to say... Would you give me a moment?
Yes, sir.
Phil.
Okay.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
If this guy had sat up there and watched the home video thing himself,
right,
he's laughed at people himself.
Well, I agree with you.
On the other foot.
I agree with you that it's probably funny to see. I think what this man is saying... Mr. Moselle, are you there?
Yes, sir.
This gentleman's point is very good. You know, you see a guy running and he wets himself and all of this nonsense. It's kind of a funny thing.
Yeah, it's funny to you, and it's funny to this gentleman, and that's all ha-ha, and everybody's having a big kick. I heard, I was at my home on Saturday night with my children present, and they go, Daddy, what's everybody laughing at? And I went over there, and they're looking at me. But I got to go back home and tell the kids they're laughing at Daddy.
Mr. Moselle, if your kids saw the thing on TV, they would bust a gut. Even if it was Daddy. That wouldn't take nothing away from you being Daddy. You're still Daddy. You're still a provider.
Would you
but
want
they would
your
bust
son...
a gut.
Well, sir, I don't know. Are you a father?
Pardon me?
Are you a father?
Absolutely.
All right, sir, do you want to see your children where you want your children to see you run around with your poo in your pants?
You know what? It's part of life.
There you go.
It didn't hurt me. All it was something that was funny. It's something that startled me. I was scared. It happens.
Have you ever pooed your drawers?
Get over it, buddy. Get over it.
Have you ever pooed your drawers? Yes or no?
Have I what?
Pooed in your drawers.
Have I poured in my drawers?
And what are you asking him?
I asked the gentleman if he's ever soiled himself.
Soiled? You mean like defecated in myself?
Yes, sir.
No, I haven't crapped on myself, but I certainly peed on myself before.
Well, sir, then you, I don't think, are in a position to understand what it's like to be 37 years of age, which is what I am.
37?
Yes, sir, I am. I own my own business.
Live a little longer, buddy.
I beg your pardon?
Live a little longer.
Wait.
You're still alive.
Just hold the phone and hear me out, please. I've lived 37 years. Now, I own my own business. I'm well thought of in my community.
All of that's well and fine, but if anybody sees that, that's not going to take away from your credibility in the community. All that's going to say is that the man was scared, he peed on himself. It's human.
Sir, what I am saying to you is that when I'm involved in the community, I have considered running for city council and these kinds of things.
All that is
for
that
city council and
you'll be a city councilman that peed on himself because he was scared. So what?
That might be kind of a refreshing thing. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at you, but I noticed that Jesse the Body Ventura came out with a biography that tells all of his bad things, and everybody kind of appreciates that.
I don't think Jesse the Body, I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm running for city council.
Man, the dude's a mayor or governor or something.
He's a governor or something.
Yeah.
Look, who's going to vote for a man who crapped in his pants?
Hey, if you were good, I'd vote for you.
There you go. There's a vote. And you know what? If you were good, I'd vote for you. There's 2 votes right there.
Okay.
Well, I don't think either one of you gentlemen could be fathers.
It's just funny because you peed on yourself. Oh, God.
You think it's funny. You laugh all you...
Oh, man. Look, I'm sorry, man, but good God from Zion.
I'm asking you to please stop that.
Stop what?
I am asking you to please stop.
God.
Mr. Bozell, you have to understand there is a certain level of humor in a man who craps...
Oh, now they're having a big laugh at my expense.
Oh, man, good God. Oh, gee whiz. Hey, man, if you run for city council, I'll vote for you.
Me too.
Oh, God.
So, wait, let me just get this right. Both you gentlemen think it's real funny that I did
Oh, man. Hey.
I want to get this straight. Both you...
And I also, Mr. Bozell, I would ask you, you know.
No, I want to get this out. All right, that's fine. Have yourself a laugh. But both you gentlemen find it funny that I pooed my drawers out there and that everybody see this on TV.
Well, look.
Oh, God. I guess you guys think it's funny if I lay a brownie in my pants. Is that it? And go running off.
Lay a brownie in your pants?
All right, sir. I don't need to be ridiculed.
We're not ridiculing you, Mr. Bozell. What we're saying is, you know what? You're gonna.
I think it was just funny. I'm sorry. I think it was a riot. Oh God! You know what?
Now, I noticed, Mr. Henry, you were very respectful until this man started laughing. You're laughing along with him.
You know, laughter's contagious. What can I tell you,
Mr. Moselle?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'd like to play golf with you someday, man. Maybe you'll do it with me.
You know, I guess you'll find this funny.
What?
The coyote made a move to try to. The coyote made a move toward me. Now I'm told by animal behaviorists that when I peed in my pants, the animal. Sir, when I was incontinent in my pants, the animal thought I was marking my territory, and apparently it came toward me, and that increased the threat to my safety.
Mr. Moselle,
the animal thought you were what, marking your territory? Look, the coyotes will not. Phil Hendry Show at 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show, and it's time. It's the end of the week, so we do have Ask the Boss. David Hall, our Vice President of Syndication, is going to join us. An opportunity once a week for you, our listeners, and everybody to hear the thoughts and comments of the people behind the scenes in the world of radio, and especially behind the scenes here on the Phil Hendry Show. We are nationally syndicated, and as such, we have a responsibility to our audience to be as mass appeal as we can, as well as a responsibility to our audience to inform on a broad level. David G. Hall is our Vice President of Syndication, is responsible for the, is responsible really for the program direction of the Phil Hendry Show. And as soon as I don't know whether we got him, is he on his car phone or... Okay, thank you very much. Mike Schaefer, my producer, says that he is now ready to go. David, where's he at? David, hi, how you doing, man? I'm awfully sorry we got you crossed up.
I'm doing really good, Phil.
Tell us a little bit about your job.
Well, my job as Vice President of Syndication is to make sure that essentially your program gets cleared on radio stations across the country, and also my job is to direct the programming of the show.
Now, we had a meeting earlier today, and you showed me some research as the result of the last ratings that you feel indicates a certain direction for the show.
As well as the...
I know you were talking about the Survivor episode, too.
As well as the Survivor episode, Phil. We have indicated and we have identified in our research, and the Survivor episode and the success of Survivor shows us, as crazy as this is going to sound to a lot of your listeners, the appeal for a lot of people of the gay lifestyle. And it also, not only if what we can do is...
Well, our meeting today, you talked to me about trying to make the program more female-friendly, right?
Right. You indicated on your show yesterday, and you're right, women don't listen to your show. Basically, we want to get as many women listening to your program as possible. But we also found out the appeal of the gay lifestyle because of the victory of Richard Hatch, who is the gay corporate trader. Women are attracted to the gay lifestyle in men. Our research tells us that women are not only attracted to the female-friendly way that gay men have, but also hot guy-on-guy action is something that women are really stimulated by. And
you're concentrating a little bit now on that. You were talking about getting more women. You're talking about gay men?
I'm talking about getting women by being gay. I'm talking about getting women And our gay men, first of all, Phil, want to think that they can make a straight guy gay, that they can change a straight guy. So you being straight, but shaping your program in a gay direction, I think means you not only get women, but you're going to get a lot more gay listeners.
And you again, the success of Survivor on Wednesday night had nothing to do with the contestant being gay, but
I think, to interrupt you, Phil, I think that the gay lifestyle is going to be more popular because the winner's gay. Now, I identified, did you get the facts?
I have a programming sheet here that tells me we have new bumper music.
We've got some new bumper music. This is very gay-friendly, and what we want you to use is the slug, the gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. Now,
is this a permanent thing? This is not a permanent thing. We want to let our listeners know this is not a permanent thing.
It's an experimental thing, but I think by being more gay-friendly, excuse me, you become something that women are going to listen to, and you're also going to become more accessible, I think, to the gay man as well as men in general. Does Craig have that?
I don't know. Craig, what has he got?
He has the new bumpers. Please read the liner over the bumper.
Okay, I'll start.
Start in just a minute. Hold on.
This is the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. It's 10 minutes after the hour. And welcome. Our number, 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686, the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry program.
All right, that's good. And most importantly, see that...
What is it with the music?
Techno music is, you see, Phil, gay men, as the result of their genetic disposition, can't handle rock and roll.
In what sense?
It causes internal bleeding. Some have seizures. They swallow their tongue. There's a lot of it.
Gay men can't handle rock and roll.
No, tell them to turn it up.
Turn up?
Turn it up. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is gay-friendly.
This music, gays love this Latin stuff. All right, now, the other thing that I would say is...
I want to back up just a little bit. First of all, you're saying that this is going to appeal to women in the audience.
That's correct.
Why?
In all seriousness, Phil, women like gay men. They feel non-threatened by gay men. And if you were a little bit more gay-friendly, I think the women would be not threatened by you, and they would also be interested in what you have to say. And
you also indicated that it would get gay listeners because they like to think they can turn a straight guy gay?
That's what our research indicates, yeah.
So the mind of a gay man listening to this show is that he could turn me gay?
That is what our research indicates.
Okay, can we turn that down for a second?
Yeah.
Turn that down for just a second.
We talked about this. I don't understand. We talked about it.
I know that, but I knew what you were saying was to get more female listeners. All right, well, let's go with this. You're talking about this being music that gay people... I think we've already can turn that down, right? Okay, because I don't need to hear any more of that. That's gay-friendly.
Right. Gay men don't like rock and roll.
I heard you say that, and I don't...
I don't know what it is. They just can't dance to it. They can dance to this stuff. I tell you what, if Craig Taylor, your engineer, is there and he isn't out of the room getting himself another cup of coffee with just a little blast of rye in it, could you have him put up cut 3, Craig, on disc 7? And I think this is the one. I think this also indicates the kind of bumper music we're going to want to start using on your show. Give it the intro.
When the music starts.
When the music starts, give it the intro.
Wait a minute.
Just do it.
This is the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show.
Yeah, that's it.
13 minutes after the hour. You mentioned that. What about Rob Halford of Judas Priest? Somebody just called and said he's with. Can we turn that off, please? Thank you. Rob Halford is gay. He was the lead singer of Judas Priest. It's a rock and roll band.
I don't know, Phil, why Rob Halford is into rock and roll. I think it's the leather. I think there's something about the leather that protects him. I don't know, but the fact of the matter remains: if we are going to get women listening to your show, we have got to get more gay-friendly. And that means playing the thing. There you go. Yeah. I'm not gay, but I'm moving my feet a little bit. You like this?
I'm sorry?
Do you like this music?
No, I don't.
Well, you better start liking it. If I were you, I'd develop a healthy appetite for it, in fact.
I hate it.
Hold on, kill the music. What do you mean you hate it?
I just hate it. I don't...
Are you homophobic?
No, sir, I am not homophobic. I am not at all. I just hate, with a capital H, that kind of music.
Do you dance?
You know, this is a discussion my wife and I get into.
Do you dance?
No, I do. I dance to rock and roll. I dance to rhythm and blues. I can't dance to that. And when I hear...
Are you embarrassed by this? You know, one of the things about that kind of music is it's more fluid. You have to use your hips. And
could very well be, but I despise, with every fiber of my being, that kind of music. The new Latin thing that's going on?
Yeah.
I hate it. And it isn't because I'm homophobic, and it isn't because I'm xenophobic, and it isn't because I'm, hydrophobic. It's because I don't dig that jive dance thing. And
well, Phil, you know what I'm saying?
I realize I shouldn't be saying this on the air because we talked about this off the air. Just telling you, yes, I'm open to getting more women listening to the show. Yes, I'm more open to having more gay men listen to the show. Okay?
I'm telling you, you had better get used to this music because I'm booking you at... We've got 2 gay clubs.
I beg your pardon?
I told you about this.
What am I doing?
Okay, we better go to break then.
You booked me at what?
Go to break, Phil.
Did you book me at a couple of gay clubs?
To MC a dance, yeah. So if I were you, I'd start liking this stuff pretty quick. Hear this? What's wrong with this?
This club I'm going to be emceeing a dance. Is this the music that's going to be?
Yeah, all night long.
Will you turn that down, please? Can I ask you a question?
What?
Is this one of these joints where the guys are up there in jockstraps?
Phil, I don't know. All I know is it's a dance joint. But this is, you sound a little worried, and it sounds almost like you've got a problem with gay people.
I got no problem with it, man. You're directing the show. Let me give the phone number here, 1-800-449-8686, The Phil Hendry Show. You're telling me the show's got to become more female-friendly by being more gay-friendly.
Absolutely. That is going to get you women. That is going to get you tons and tons of women listening to your show by being more gay-friendly than ever before. And we've got the billboard. So by doing that, you're capitalizing on the popularity of the Survivor show because that was the guy that won, a gay guy. And on top of that, you're going to be getting more females. All right? And that's what we want to do with the billboard campaign.
I knew you guys were spending money on billboards, but I didn't know that. Do we have to hear?
Just talk over the music.
What is the thing?
Now more than ever before, Phil Hendry's gay friendly. And you can go ahead, do it.
David.
Do it.
This is the gay friendly.
Do it better.
This is the gay friendly Phil Hendry.
Better.
This is the gay friendly Phil Hendry Show at 17 after the hour. And we'll be right back after this. Oh, man.
You better stop that, Phil, and I'm killing music. You start telling people you don't like this music, you are shooting yourself in the head with your female listeners. Turn it up and like it.
Craig.
Turn it up and like it. Go to break.
1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
This is David Hall, Vice President of Syndication for The Phil Hendry Show. Thank you for tuning into The Phil Hendry Show as we continue to retool the show and make it more female-friendly by making it more gay-friendly. And here's Phil Hendry.
22 minutes after the hour, you're back with the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. And we're talking with David Hall. And
explain, if you would, Phil, the use of the music.
And the reason why we're using this music is because supposedly it's...
You don't say supposedly, say...
It's gay-friendly.
And say the rest that I told you to say.
And I like it a lot. I like this music a lot. Our number is 1-800-449-8686 as we continue with the retooling of the Phil Hendry program to be more gay-friendly, and that is to get more women listening to the show. Now, you mentioned that gay men can't listen to rock and roll because of genetic disposition?
That is correct, Phil. In a lot of the research that we find, gay men who are exposed to rock and roll, there has been internal bleeding, there's been some seizure, and so...
So, in other words, if they listen to... What do you mean by rock? So if they've got this...
Oh, they love this. Gay guys can shake it all night to this. But the minute you throw some rock and roll in there, and you've got internal bleeding.
All right, Downey on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello? Downey, hello?
Yes, hello?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I've been listening, and at the beginning when I started listening to this, I thought it was a big joke. I'm calling to say I'm a 30-year-old woman that has been listening to your show for a little while now, and I think it's ludicrous what I think his name is David is saying.
Ma'am, this is David Hall. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get more women to tune into the Phil Hendry Show. What we found with the Survivor show on Wednesday night, gay is back. Gay is what's happening, and women particularly are into gay issues and gay men.
I think you're being very, very shallow when you're saying that gay is going to be popular. Gay is a lifestyle that people are. They don't choose it.
Well, it's gay chic.
And I'm not gay, but I'm definitely not going to be listening to the Phil Hendry Show because it's gay-friendly. I'm going to listen to it because it's challenging and it's
ma'am, let me ask you, listen to this. Tell me you don't want to move it to this.
No, I don't.
Well, that's unusual.
No, it's not. I think that your research is completely wrong.
I am straight, and I can't help but just sort of tap my feet to this. And
I told you, David, I hate that music.
See, that's dangerous to me.
Why?
Because it makes me feel like you hate gays.
I hate gays? I don't hate gay people. I hate that crap. I can't stand it. And
you know what Phil's problem is, ma'am? He can't dance from the waist down. He does.
I can't believe you're saying that. That's unreal.
He can shuffle, but he can't really move his rear end, and that's why.
That's got nothing to do with it, man. I can't stand that stuff. And
let me ask the lady a question.
Ludicrous for you to the things that you're saying about gay people on radio. For one, I'm appalled. But two, it's just crazy for you to think that people like that music, which is like 30 seconds, and so they're going to listen to the show because of the music?
Ma'am, I'll bet you anything.
They're going to listen to it because of the conversation.
Turn the music off, Craig, please. Turn it off, okay?
I asked Craig to pipe it up.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
What's the club you booked me at in West Hollywood? You got me emceeing a gay dance?
Yeah, at the Trail Boss.
The Trail Boss? What?
Oh, listen to the homophobia. Ma'am, do you hate gay men? Lady.
Yeah.
Do you hate gay people?
Oh, no, not at all.
Well, the two of you are coming across...
How's it homophobic?
I booked you at the Trail Boss.
And that's some gay bar I'm going to be emceeing a dance at?
That's right. And then Saturday night, you're at the Locker Room.
So I'm at the Trail Boss and then the Locker Room.
Have you been to those clubs, ma'am?
No, never. I've never even heard of it.
Well, listen to this. You don't like this music, huh, Phil?
I hate it.
Well, you're going to be listening to about 12 solid hours of it come Saturday night.
I think it's wrong for you to book me into a club on my own time. I think it's wrong. And I resent that. And furthermore, I ain't going to be emceeing no dance at the Trail Boss in West Hollywood.
What a homophobe.
Thank you for your call,
man. It has nothing to do with being homophobic.
Thank you, dear, for your call. Here is Los Angeles on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello?
Hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
Sister, right?
Yes, I am.
You got to dig this. Right?
Actually, I don't like it at all.
It's the worst, David.
Well, you may not like it. This lady may not like it. Gay guys flip for it.
Okay, well, I know 100 gay guys. I work in Los Angeles. The complete staff of my office is totally gay.
Well, tell them to tune into the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show.
It couldn't possibly be a gay-friendly show. Everyone in here, and coincidentally, when you said they didn't like rock and roll, I heard my first gay rock and roll song in West Hollywood last weekend, and they loved it.
Gay rock and roll song?
And they could dance. I swear, we just danced and danced and danced.
Well, it's not really rock and roll. It's like this, right?
Well, actually, no, it's not. If you really want to be, if you really want to understand what type of music that they play in gay clubs, it's mostly techno. And I don't know what kind of music that is anyway.
That's techno. That's what they play.
Well,
now, when Phil Hendry appears at the Trail Boss Saturday night at 8 p.m., bring your friends.
Okay, well, my main reason for calling is that gayness is not a trend. It is definitely not a trend.
The other thing that I wanted to mention to Phil, you've got a very masculine voice, Phil.
Thank you.
But you need to free it up a little bit. You know what I mean by that?
He almost sounds like he's joking.
How am I supposed to? What?
Ma'am, I'm not joking. This guy, Phil Hendry, needs to get more women listening to his program. I want you to free your voice at the vocal range, okay?
What reason would he have to free his voice to excite more? I actually started listening to the radio because of you.
I want him to be more gay-friendly. Now, Phil, free it up.
How do you want me?
Are you a gay man, sir?
No, ma'am, I am not. I'm straight as hell. Oh, baby, am I straight.
You're straight and you want him to be more gay-friendly?
Yeah, because we got to get women listening. Phil, say this.
I'm a woman, and I don't follow gay men.
Phil, I want you to free
I actually feel like it's a waste. Gay men are beautiful.
I'd like you to
gay men are beautiful, and I would dream to have one of them. But they don't want me, sweetie, so there's no reason for me to be following them.
Yeah, say the following, Phil, okay? What kind of moisturizer do you use?
What kind of moisturizer do you use?
Free the voice.
What kind of moisturizer?
That's it. There, right there. That's what I want.
You know, actually, you're the type of men that gay men probably would target on.
Yeah.
Okay, 1-800-449-8686.
Say it.
What kind of moisturizer do you use?
That's it. Is the new gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. And now, don't miss Phil Hendry emceeing a big dance-a-thon Saturday night at 8 p.m. at the Trail Boss in West Hollywood. Then, Sunday night, he'll be at the Locker Room at 7 p.m. for the big dance-off, couples-only kiss-a-thon.
And then wait a second. Turn it off.
What?
Couples-only kiss-a-thon at the what?
The Open Fist.
At the Open Fist. Look at
Phil, you are embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing this radio station, and you're embarrassing me. We talked about this before you went on the air. The show's got to become more gay-friendly. Now,
I understand that Richard winning on Survivor makes everybody more open to the gay lifestyle. I understand, or orientation, whatever. I understand we want to get more women. How do you make that connection between more women listening and having a gay-friendly show?
I told you. Straight women, whether they want to believe it or not, enjoy the company of gay men. Rather than straight men, they follow their trends. American women wouldn't know what to wear if it wasn't for gays. Are you kidding me? Are you stupid?
All right, that's a point.
You're damn right it's a point. Now say this, and I want you to free up your voice, okay?
So when you say free up...
Don't go down there. Get up into a mid-range register.
When you say free up...
That's it. That's where, okay. Stay there. Now say this. I need to exfoliate.
I need to exfoliate.
How much for your sloughing lotion, honey?
How much for your sloughing lotion, honey? What the hell have you got me
I'm telling you, this is the stuff.
San Diego, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello. San Diego? No. Are they gone? Here's Miami on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello. Miami, hello.
Hi.
Yes, go ahead.
Tell your boss I think he's crazy. Because I like your show, and I'm a new listener.
And how old are you, dear?
And how old I am? It's none of your business how old I am.
I need to know for
I don't know how old you are, sir.
I demand to know how old you are. I demand to know.
What you're trying to do.
I demand to know how old you are.
You don't have to demand nothing from me.
You better tell me.
No, why should I?
Because I'll come down there and I'll beat an old lady's ass. And I haven't done that.
Oh, man.
David.
No, I'm telling you right now.
You come on down here and I'll beat you.
You better tell me.
Come on down.
I haven't kicked an old woman's ass in years.
Hold on for a minute. You can't be threatening listeners.
Well, I ask her a question. I want an answer. Don't be giving me your crap.
Don't give me none of your crap.
Don't give me none of your crap.
I don't mind the gay people.
You like this music?
My family, but I don't need to listen
Get rid of
to
that
a gay
arthritis by
program all
dancing
the
to this.
time.
We want you listening to gay-friendly stuff. Are you in Miami?
Yes, I am.
Well,
Come on down and see me.
Well, then you must know millions of gay men.
Come on down and see me.
I'll come down there and see you.
Come down and see me.
Be the worst day of your
I'll
life.
pick you next to anybody else.
I'll tell you what, I'll throw you off the balcony of that condominium.
Would you come on and act reasonable?
Come on down, sir.
Come at me.
I'll take you on any day.
Come at me.
I'll come down and...
You come down here?
And I'll take you on any day.
Are you coming here? Should I go there?
You come down here.
Bull crap. You come to
I'm not
L.A.
wasting my money to come to see you.
You want to come to L.A.? I've been to Miami. Why would I want to go? Wouldn't you rather?
I enjoy his program.
Look, and I'm
He's
asking
a
you,
nice guy.
how old are you?
I like the way he does his program.
You like the way he looks in a tight pair of
I don't want you
jeans?
changing him into a gay guy.
I want him to be gay. How old are
I
you?
don't want him to be a gay guy.
Phil, get up and dance.
He's not a gay guy.
Wait a minute. What did you ask me?
I said to get up and dance.
David, I don't want to...
Get up and dance.
I'm telling Henry to get up and dance.
Do you dance, sir?
None of your business.
Do you dance?
None of your business.
See,
Get up and
none of
dance.
your business, but what do you ask me?
David, please don't make me...
Get up and dance.
You are. You're a bigot.
I'm a bigot.
That's what you are. You are a bigot.
How can you... I mean...
How can you call me a bigot?
And you're greedy.
Well, David,
You just wanna get more
David, I
gays
think that
into
you should...
your programs.
What?
That's all.
I'll tell you this much, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I
You're not
resent
going to make it gay
Why,
because
how
women
dare
are going
you?
to come.
In 1853, I came out
women
here
are gonna
with
leave
nothing
your
but a banjo
program.
on my knee. And you're
Women
telling
are
me
gonna
that?
leave your program,
All the
sir.
palmetto plants and everything? And you're in Miami. Hello? Ah, she hung up. Gutless. Now dance. I'm going to ask Craig Taylor. Is Phil Hendry dancing, Craig Taylor? Push the automatic button. Yes, Phil Hendry's dancing.
There, I'm done dancing, okay?
All right, you got those dates?
Let me write them down.
26th, you're at the Trail Boss at 8 p.m. to MC the dance-a-thon.
26th. The 27th...
27th, you're doing 2 gigs. You're doing the Locker Room at 6, and then you're wrapping up with a slow dance marathon at the Open Fist. Phil, don't screw up.
David, I've been asked a lot of things in my career. I've never had a guy say my show needs to be more gay-friendly to get women to listen, and...
That's why you're talent and you're not programming. That's why you do that and I do this. And to have to argue with you every time I come on your program is getting wearying, Phil.
1-800-449-8686. Cloverdale on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello. Cloverdale, hello. Here is San Rafael on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
3 things for the program director, Randy Travis, whoever he is. If you want your show to be...
Turn it off, will you?
If you want your show to be... it's the first thing to do to get your show
Wait,
to be more
what do you know
gay-friendly.
about it? What do you know about it?
I know about gay and gay-friendly.
How
And
do you
the
know
first
about
thing
that?
you need to
How do you know about that?
I'm gay.
Are you in the fringe of the community or are you right in it?
I am right in it. I mean...
Okay, did you know for a fact that straight women are always coming into your clubs dancing, hogging the dance floor, and bugging you guys? Am I right or wrong about that?
I don't even care about that.
You know that that's
in
true.
order to make the
All
show
these straight
more
chicks with their
gay-friendly,
big rear
you need to
ends
stay off of it
popping up.
because everything you say is offensive to people.
No, sir. No, sir.
That's the way it is.
Why don't you guys listen to rock and roll?
And you know what's so funny is I love rock and roll, and that's the second thing I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Green Day?
Okay, all right. Besides Green Day and Judas Priest,
Jeff Tate from Queensryche, gay.
Queensryche sucks. Queensryche sucks. They do. They suck.
Mr. Music Critic, who do you think you are?
Wait
Anyway,
a minute. Okay,
the
so you
third
got
thing.
Queensryche, you got Judas Priest, you got Green Day. Those are 3 rock and roll bands.
Judas Priest broke up. Rob Halford had to leave Judas Priest because they're a bunch of homophobes. And
no, they're not. He went out solo.
And also, you are so hostile. This is what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking that you are gay and you are afraid to come.
No, sir, I'm not latently homosexual. I'm trying to get this guy.
You are.
All right, do you know what the trouble?
No, you're showing all the.
You better practice using that mid-range before the gigs. No, Phil, you have to use the mid-range voice. Now use it.
What kind of moisturizer do you use? I need to exfoliate. How much for your sloughing lotion, honey?
That is so wrong.
Great.
For you guys even to say that on the radio. How can you say that? Gay people talk like that or ask those types of things or even insinuate that that's a stereotype.
Shut up and dance. This is the gay-friendly gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. And then next week it's going to be, you're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
Okay, that's really great, man. All right, fine. How come it's Spanish? All right, David, so...
All I'm asking you to do, Phil, is to work on that, and we will see what we can do. Because before, again, the women know it's true. They do not make a move when it comes to fashion unless some gay guy's telling them what to wear, what to dress, their hair, their lips, their makeup, everything. That's why they hang around there. And I just want to make this following announcement before I leave the air. And that is, when you straight chicks go into a gay bar, try to trim a few pounds off your ass so you're not bouncing all the gay guys off the dance floor who belong there, as opposed to you who just went in there so you could have a little free time with the gay guys and not be hassled by some straight dude who wants to take you home and milk you like a cow. Now,
okay, that's it, man.
You're not going to hang up.
That's great, man. Okay, so there you go. This is the gay-friendly Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show at 1-800-449-8686. So, as a natural spin from $1,000 worth of camera equipment in there. So, yeah, take it down. Let's sell the cameras. Anyway, 1-800-449-8686. The Federal Aviation Administration ordered discount carrier Pro Air. Oh, my God, not that. To halt all flights? Well, that looks like my trip to Nepal's off. Pro Air? Well, enough people fly Pro Air beginning today because of serious aircraft safety problems that this 3-year-old airline failed to perform scheduled engine maintenance, failed to repair dents, did not address other safety concerns. Also, Boeing 737 jets have been questioned, I think, by the FAA in terms of rudder design. And as the, there's never really an end to the traveling season because it's either the summer traveling season or the Thanksgiving or the holiday or the Christmas or et cetera, et cetera. From Santa Monica Airport, we have on the line with us, we're going to be talking here in just a second to Art Griego. And Art is okay, hold on for a minute because I got no... All right, there he is. Art, are you with us, man?
Yes, Phil, right here.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I didn't think we had you. Art, you've been flying for how long?
Phil, I've been flying commercially for the last 15 years, mostly private planes.
Now, you brought this 737 story to my attention. The 737 having, the Boeing 737 having some design problems?
Well, so for 12 years, I've written letters to Boeing and to the FAA about design problems on the 737. This situation today from the Federal Aviation Administration having to do with Pro Air is just one problem I think the 737 has.
What specifically?
Well, first off, and this is very basic, and again, 12 years worth of letters, 12 years worth of phone calls, and talking to so many other people. They're talking about a rudder design problem on the 737. I think any school child understands that a rudder is something that belongs primarily on a boat. And if you look at any picture, if you look at any photograph of any seagoing craft, you see that it has a rudder. An airplane you don't think of as something that has a rudder. And for them to put one on a 737, I think, in my opinion, is murderous and can murder millions of air travelers. And
all right, so the first design problem would be the existence of a rudder?
That is correct.
Because I'm not specifically clear on that. Why?
Have you ever been on a boat? I'm sure you have. Most of us have.
Yeah, I grew up around boats.
Then you know that, for instance, a sailboat, Phil, I know you're a sailor, right?
Yeah, my father had a sailboat.
All right, that has a rudder that's attached to a tiller. And
right, you pull the tiller one way and the boat goes one way or the other way.
Correct. That's something that a boat has, not an airplane. And I think that the individual who put a rudder on an airplane should be indicted for cold-blooded murder and for the slaughter of billions. And I think that that's gone. Now, I think also the other thing is that thousands of people have died over the years because of rudder design, and so much of that is a design problem. I also think it's time for us to look at the possibility that...
All right, well, to interrupt for a moment here, Art.
Go ahead.
The fact that airplanes have rudders is a design problem because rudders should only be on boats.
That's correct. If you look at boats, most boats have rudders. Some have props, but you do need rudders. And I think this is...
Was this a design problem from the beginning, or...
Yeah, absolutely. You don't do it. And that's to go along with wings. We've never needed wings on aircraft. Now, this is something a little bit more controversial because the aircraft, the highest level of air travel that we've achieved, obviously, Phil, is space travel.
Correct.
All right, it's space travel, whether it be the lunar landing, whether it be the Mars landing, or whether it be space station construction and orbiting exploration. We've never needed wings on any aircraft, and yet we have insisted on putting them on aircraft that we fly.
Well, what about the space shuttle?
That again, is a design problem, and I predict because the space shuttle has wings, we're going to see the horrible death of the shuttle crew very soon.
All right, hold on, man, because you're throwing a whole lot of stuff at us here. You're saying that rudders belong on boats and that it is a basic design problem that a 737 has a rudder.
That is correct, and a school child can tell you that. 12 years worth of writing letters to Boeing and the FAA.
But the more important, and I think the more controversial of your suggestions, is that aircraft should not have wings. And I think anybody...
So we do not need wings.
No, I hear what you're saying. We've been able to get into space without winged aircraft. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And we have been able to land on the moon, and we have used robot ships to land on Mars, and we have never done it with a fixed wing or a double wing or a single wing aircraft. We have landed on the moon and on Mars with vehicles that have anything but wings.
And I mentioned the space shuttle, and you say that's going to...
Wings are for birds, rudders are for boats, and you mentioned the space shuttle, Phil. I think that is an accident waiting to happen.
All right, we're talking with Art Griego, who has spent a few years trying to get design problems corrected on the 737. Now, they're grounding the jets of Pro Air today because of serious safety problems. They also decided that 3 Boeing 737 jets... the 3 that they operate should be grounded, and there was some question as to the rudder design, and that's what they're talking about, that the 737's rudder design...
Well, I go a step further, though. I don't think it should have a rudder at all. And the idiots, I mean the absolute idiots, that are trying to tell me and other pilots that, well, we've got a rudder design problem, I have said to them, and I continue to say to them, it is a rudder problem, the fact that it's on the airplane in the first place, okay? It's not a design problem. Planes don't have rudders. Even my daughter knows that. When she was in the I tell you how I got the idea. My daughter was in the bathtub. Justin, hold on for a minute, Phil. I'm in the hangar. And
you're at Santa Monica Airport.
Yes, I am. My daughter was in the bathtub about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. We just had Casey, and she was pushing around a little boat with a rudder on it. And that's what I said to my wife, that obviously it's the problem with the 737. It's got a rudder. It's not a boat. And
all right, getting back to the wing situation. Airplanes should not have wings.
We don't need wings on airplanes. We have proven that we can travel with aircraft that have no wings. We've done that with the Mercury rocket. We've done that with the Redstone. We've done that with the Saturn. We have done that with the landers that I previously mentioned. Why do we have wings on airplanes? All they do is create serious instability. The Wright brothers were here, but we have, the Wright brothers were here. We're here. We would have had motors and engines. The wings and rudders are killing us. And you look at the rockets we use, the very rocket that puts the space shuttle into space doesn't have wings on it. That's what I'm talking about. And so a lot of this...
All right, what were you saying about the Wright brothers?
I'm saying that the Wright brothers needed them to get into the air, but we don't need them any longer.
So we needed them to get into the air, and
that's correct. And I can only tell you, speak for a lot of pilots. So
hold on for a minute. We needed them to begin to learn how to fly, but we don't need them anymore.
No, we do not. No, we do not.
Okay.
And I think I speak for a lot of pilots, probably most pilots and aviators, when I tell you that rudders and wings are probably the two things we ought to look at getting rid of if we hope to save any amount of human life in the air. And I will tell you something else, Phil. I lost a very dear friend a few years ago. It was a beautiful Sunday morning. I'll never forget. It was October the 12th. The year was 1997. And I had arisen from bed. I was reading the sports page. And I found out that a guy that we all knew had died. A guy by the name of John Dusseldorf. Maybe you knew him as Johnny D. I knew him as John Denver. He died on October 12th, 1997, because he was flying in something with not only a wing, but a rudder, and it had propellers. And I will tell you, that's what murdered my friend John Denver.
But wait. That was a plane that he had put together himself. Some people...
What murdered John Denver was the fact that that plane had wings and a rudder and a propeller.
Yeah, but wasn't the plane substandard?
Yes, it was substandard because of having a propeller and wings. If there were no wings on that airplane, Johnny D would be alive today. And
hold on for a minute. Art Griego is with us from the airport. He is a professional pilot, and he proposes that the main problem with the 737 is that it has a rudder. Rudders should only be on boats. We're all familiar with the fact that boats have rudders, but do aircraft need them? He also is proposing that we no longer need wings on airplanes because we are achieving space travel in vehicles without wings. And now he's saying that John Denver died because his plane also had a propeller, which is dangerous, I guess, according to Mr. Griego. We'll be back with Art Griego. It's the Phil Hendry Show at 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show, and we're talking with Art Griego, who's a private pilot. We're talking about the problems with the 737. There was some rudder design problem that the FAA pointed out. One of the airlines, Pro Air, has had its flights halted because there's a problem with the 737 there. They failed to perform scheduled engine maintenance. And I don't know whether the 737 specifically has a problem, Art, or whether you're saying that all aircraft do, as long as they use rudders.
I believe so, Phil, because I think that the rudders are what's killing the human beings up there, and wings.
And you mentioned propellers.
That is correct. The propeller is probably the single most dangerous, the single most dangerous aspect of aircraft is propeller. A propeller can cut a man in half. A propeller, you can lose your arms, you can lose your limbs to a propeller. It absolutely boggles my mind that anybody would want to have wings, a propeller, or a rudder on an aircraft.
All right, let me go to West Palm Beach on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hello there.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Yes, I've been listening to the discussion by the other gentleman about...
Yes, you're on with Art Griego?
Yes, hello, sir.
Yes, sir. I've been listening to the discussion with a fellow who thinks that airplanes shouldn't have wings or a rudder.
Yes, sir, that's me, sir.
Okay. Well, I've been a pilot and a flight instructor for the last 45 years or so.
Yes, sir.
And don't quite understand what you're suggesting as an alternative.
I'm saying right now we have the alternative because we have achieved the pinnacle of air travel, which is space flight, in aircraft that does not have a wing, does not have propellers, simply can, is able to achieve locomotion through our airspace.
Well, that's done by changing thrust. And
exactly,
that thrust will allow that thing to kind of take off like a rocket. You're
a pilot, though, sir, and you know as well as I do that when I look out and I see wings on the side of an airplane, I am in complete and utter fear till I land.
Well, what would you suggest an alternative for medium-sized and light aircraft to allow them to fly in our atmosphere?
That's a good question. What?
Well, I think first of all, Phil, we have to change thrust ratios. I believe we need to develop power ratio and engine and pure horsepower to begin to propel these craft at speeds that are going to, A, make air travel a much more sensible way of traveling in terms of time spent traveling, and B, make it a safer flight. So if we can get rid of propellers and put some kind of rocket style or land rocket engine on private planes.
All right, so what you're proposing is let's take a private plane, get the propeller off of it, put a rocket engine into it, and take the wings off of it.
Well, I can tell propellers are dangerous. That's why we yell clear out of the window before we power up, so people know the prop is about to start spinning and could cut a man's head clean off.
Well, the man is right. Propellers are dangerous, but rockets are dangerous,
too.
Do
you yell clear when you're starting up a prop?
Oh, I certainly do, and not only do I...
You're GD right, my friend. I do the same thing.
Not only do I yell clear, but I look very carefully to make sure there's nobody there.
Right,
but I can see in front of my airplane and make sure the propeller is clear. If we're using rockets behind the airplane, it's a lot harder to determine that there's nobody standing behind my rocket-assisted takeoff.
Well, you can get out and look and then get back in. But what I would suggest, respectfully, is if you can see a man's head fly off. Can you please put your... Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 65.
God bless you and the great men who have flown. Are you all right?
Am I alive?
Are you all? I know you're alive, sir. Are you all right?
I'm okay.
I think. If you're doing okay.
I think somebody else would have to make that decision, but
I think you're doing fine.
So I'm all right.
Okay. Do you do dental?
What are you asking him?
If his teeth are your own, or is it a bridge?
Do I own a bridge? No, I own an airplane, and I'm a flight instructor. I've taught a whole bunch of people how to fly through the years.
Right. Do you have a bridge in your mouth right now, I guess is what I was asking.
No, I don't have a bridge in my mouth.
Forgive me, I was having a hard time.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I just want to determine that.
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for your expertise. We do appreciate that. In West Palm Beach?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, thank you. 1-800-449-8686. Here is Mission Viejo on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Did you see the Indiana Jones movie when that German guy walked into that prop? I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, that was gruesome.
You better believe it. You don't want to just take a stroll into a prop.
All right, here is Mission Viejo. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
I've been listening to Art Greco, and I couldn't disagree with him more. I've been in aviation over 50 years now. And
then you're willing to make the statement that airplanes need wings?
They definitely need wings, and they need a rudder. And
better you than me, brother, because I can tell you they're unnecessary.
Well, they're absolutely unnecessary. First of all, you need a rudder on an airplane.
Why do you need wings?
Well, you need wings.
You're proposing, Art, that we don't need wings or a propeller or rudders on it.
That's correct. I'm asking the gentleman point blank. Tell me why we need wings on an airplane.
Well, we need wings for a myriad of reasons. On a large transport aircraft, we need wings to keep the power plant out away from the fuselage.
All right, if that's true, why did John Denver's plane crash?
Well, wait a minute, that's a different issue. Let me get through explaining why we need the wings.
John Denver's plane had wings. Am I correct?
John Denver's airplane had nothing to do with that. His problem was with a fuel selector valve. He couldn't reach it. It was behind his left shoulder.
There you go. So even though he had wings, even though he had a propeller, and even though he had a rudder, he crashed.
Well, wait a minute. The man's saying it had nothing to do with the wings.
But he had wings.
The wings. The reason John Denver crashed, if you want to isolate it to a particular reason. First of all, John Denver shouldn't have been flying. He shouldn't have been flying because his license was revoked by the FAA.
What about
he
Buddy
shouldn't have been
Holly?
in the airplane to begin with. Secondly,
what about Patsy Cline? Her plane had wings.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? John Kennedy Jr.'s plane had wings. You see?
I'd like to hear from the man. You're interrupting a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The wings also is a practical place to store fuel. In other words, you wouldn't have
put that in a can behind the seat. What do you? I don't get what you're saying.
I'm talking about 747. The wing is a fuel tank.
Well, why couldn't you put that behind the pilot's seat?
Behind the pilot's seat?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about 250,000 pounds of fuel in there. You're not going to put it behind the pilot's seat.
You can't get that in a can.
You can't get that.
I'm not a commercial pilot. I don't know.
No, you can't put that in a can behind the pilot's seat.
No, you're looking at an airplane that has a range of.
So you believe we need propellers?
5,000 to 6,000 hours. Well, you need a thrust device. If it's not a propeller, A fan jet is essentially a jet engine with,
What about rocket
with a
fuel?
high-speed propeller on top of it.
All right, so
it's not financially feasible to put rocket engines in commercial airplanes.
Okay, that's two opinions. We need we need wings, a rudder, and a propeller. Let me ask the question before you do, Art.
What's that?
Do you think we need gasoline for these airplanes, sir?
Oh, don't be stupid, Phil.
Well, I mean, what you're saying sounds about as ridiculous. Do we need wings? Thank you very much, sir, for your call. 1-800-449-8686. Art Griego is with us. He believes that wings, propellers, and whatever the other thing was, it's killing people on The Phil Hendrie Show. Show. With the controversy around 737s being grounded from Pro Air today and some question about rudder design, we have a pilot on the line with us, Art Griego. He's in Santa Monica. He's talking to us about the possibility that the basic design of aircraft itself is wrong. And we're talking about the... Art, you could just restate what you were saying?
Yeah, Phil, what I'm basically saying is that we have no need for wings, propellers, or we don't have...
Can you hear me?
No, I'm having a difficult time hearing you, Phil.
Okay, you were saying that that we have no need...
Right, we have no need for wings, propellers, or rudders. And
well, you got a lot of pilots who think that they need wings.
You don't. You don't need wings. And I'll tell you something. If you want to see more people die, then put wings on airplanes. Now, I'm at Santa Monica Airport. One of the reasons I can't hear you, Phil, is I was inside the hangar. I rolled my Cessna 172 out, and I had it on the runway, and I had them take the wings off and the propeller and the rudder. And I'm going to try to, I'll get airborne here in a few minutes and tell you...
Wait a minute. You took the wings, the propeller, and the rudder off of your craft.
That's correct.
And you think you're going to get up in the air?
I know I'm going to get up in the air. And I know I'm going to live. And for the first time, I will be flying with the knowledge that I'm going to live. Because as much as I love to fly, every time I take off in an aircraft, I fear death more than anything. I can feel death's cold breath on my neck. But because I've removed the wings, the prop, and the rudder from my airplane, I know I'm going to live.
All right, let's go to Oregon on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes. My name's Dave Saunders.
How you doing, Dave? Art Griego here, Santa Monica, California.
I taught aeronautics for many years. You cannot take an airplane up in the air without wings.
I disagree.
You can't get any lift. How are you going to get lift?
Well, I'll tell you how you get lift. How do we get to the moon? We didn't have wings on that.
Well, yeah, but we were going straight up. We weren't going on level
Well,
flight.
I propose that we begin to... Excuse me, I'm having...
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I just had car phone trouble. I propose that we begin taking off straight up.
Then what are you going
Dave,
to do?
Do you hear me, Dave?
I hear you.
I think we should start taking off straight up.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Then how are you going to level that plane off and stay in level flight?
You begin to decelerate. The plane begins to level off.
It won't level off without wings.
Certainly it'll level off.
It will not level off without wings.
How do you know? Have you ever taken off straight
yes,
up?
Yes.
You've taken off straight up in the air. No, you
No,
haven't.
I'm not going to go straight up in the air.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. And I feel so confident.
Wait a minute. Now, you've taken the wings off your Cessna. And
Yes, I have.
All right, you're at Santa Monica Airport right now?
Yes, I am.
All right, and you've taken the wings off and the propeller and the rudder.
That is correct.
And he doesn't know anything about aeronautics. You cannot fly without wings.
Well, Dave, I would suggest that you're wrong because you've never tried it.
Oh, I'm
but
not
you know what?
going to try it. I want to stay with wings so I can...
I'd like to ask you to help to join me in this pioneering spirit and begin flying without wings.
I won't be with you.
Well, are you a pilot, sir?
Yes.
All right, Dave, do you own your own aircraft?
Not anymore. I'm 92 years old. I don't fly anymore.
All right, sir. I would suggest, you sound like you probably flew during the day, maybe perhaps twin double wing planes, perhaps?
The's no point in talking any further about it. I'm an aeronautics expert. I taught it for years.
I'm telling you, Dave, would you believe me if I told you that I can do it. I'll prove it to you right now.
Have you ever done it before?
I'm going to try it right now.
Wait, if you've never done this before, don't try it.
No. I'm going to, I'm inside the cockpit right now of my Cessna. Let me try and fire it up right now.
Now you're going to get it to go.
All right, you can hear the engine very clearly.
What engine? Where's your propeller?
Can you hear the engine? Oh,
yes,
it just cut out. It just cut out. Hold on for a minute. Let me try it again.
What kind of an engine is it?
It's a Buick.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, is that a problem?
A Buick?
A Buick? That's ridiculous.
No, I'm just joking around with you, Dave. It just cut out again. All right, let's try it one more time. I swear to God, this is going to be a great moment. Go.
Yeah, that is. I'm sorry I won't be able to come to the funeral.
Here I go, Dave. 1, 2, 3, and... Oh, shoot. I got a problem.
You bet you have.
What do you think it is? Can you help me out?
The problem is that you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think I can do this. Let me try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and... Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah, shoot.
Well, let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
You say you're going straight up.
I've got the plane pointed straight up, yeah. It's very uncomfortable right now.
All right. Then you're going to go straight up.
Yeah.
And when you get up to a certain level, you're going to do what?
I will begin to decelerate. And at that point, as I decelerate, the nose, because of the weight, will begin to drop forward.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you turn right around, and your nose, being the heavier part of the plane, will go straight down and bury you in the ground, and you won't have to go to a funeral.
All right. You may have a point, but what I'm trying to do is I got to work that out.
You sure have, because it won't work. Let me explain to you.
One more. Hold on. Come on, baby. Prove it to Dave. I know I can do it.
I think you're going to hurt yourself.
Shut up, Henry. Okay, come on. It died out again. Look, Dave, when the nose dips, I fire the engine back up and I continue flight.
Impossible.
Impossible, huh?
Yes.
That's exactly what they said to Christopher Columbus. Okay,
yeah,
Dave.
But he wasn't flying airplanes.
Well, they said it was impossible, though.
What was impossible for him?
That he could sail a ship.
Well, that has nothing. That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
They said that to the Wright brothers, too.
Well, the Wright brothers succeeded.
Well,
do you know why?
That's a good point.
Let me ask
Let's
you a
try
question.
one more time. Here we go. Oh, please let me fly.
Phil?
That's a pile of crap.
You know what? I think you're going to wind up killing yourself going straight up.
Phil?
Yes, sir.
The purpose of a wing is to provide lift. This is according to the Bernoulli principle.
The Bernoulli principle?
The air passing over a surface. If the upper
Come on,
surface,
baby.
Let me explain this to you.
Come on, baby.
Let me explain why you have to have wings.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have to have
Try
wings.
another fuel ratio on that. Go ahead, I'm listening.
You have to have wings because...
3-to-1 fuel ratio. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
You have to have wings because the airfoil, the wing is an airfoil.
I'll be able to get up off the ground now. This is the one. You know what? Maybe if I tried a real airplane engine, because I've got a Buick in it right now.
Hey,
a Buick engine isn't going to get you off the... All right, thank you, sir, for your call. Art...
I'm telling you, people will die, Phil, as long as airplanes have wings.
Right. Yeah, you're right, because they're still going to have plane crashes. 1-800-449... Will you knock it off with that thing? 1-800-449-8686.
Come on, baby.
Phil Hendrie Show. And I'm joined by Art Bell and General Johnson Jameson. General Jameson, you're on the line with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
I understand you're depressed, sir. Art, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Phil, and I can understand the General is depressed, but you do have an amazing scientific discovery you want to tell us about.
Well, I was hoping the mothership had arrived, but the birds lied, you see. Let me open the window, because I got an idea. Hi, pigeons. Yeah? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Let me just ask you. You want some of this? Ooh, that's got a sting.
General Jameson, this is Art Bell.
Yeah?
I would not do that to the poor animals.
They lied about the mothership. You lie to me, you get dropped. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can we grow up?
What's that, the name of a song or something? I don't understand. Wait a minute, what am I doing on the phone?
I should be here.
Yeah, no, right, I'm here. Look, I'm all right.
All right, I tell you what, why don't you take this over and we'll man the phones, okay?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Phil. This is Art Bell once again. General Jameson, tell us what you have seen through your particle transporter telescope.
I'm going to ask you out of common decency, Art, to get these birds away from me. They lied to me about the mothership.
Can we get the birds? Just close the window.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's better. Jeez, I didn't know if you closed the window there.
You'd shove that stuff right up your ass. That's all you have to do.
Is he done with it, Clinton?
All right, we're back, and General Johnson Jameson is with us. General Jameson?
All right. I'm going to climb over the...
General Jameson is now attempting to enter Area 51. Go ahead, General.
I'm climbing over the thing right now. I'm in Area 50. All right, Art, I do see some figures up here.
Don't take any chances, General.
No, I do see. There's two people. They could be military police. Hello, I'm General Johnson Jameson, and I command in the name of the American people...
General Jameson, what has happened?
They got me, Art. I'm hit, but I'm going to continue on my way. I will not allow them...
General Jameson, you've been hit twice. I suggest you turn around and go back over the fence.
No, I've waited too long for this. I'm going to...
Oh, my God, that sounded like automatic weapons fire. General Jameson.
All right, Art. I'm going to make it. I got to make it. I see a light, Art. I see a light. It's just up ahead. I know it's the Area 51 complex.
It sounds like you're under intense fire. You have to back up.
No, I won't. You're not going to back me up.
Automatic weapons fire is now being leveled on General Jameson. He is within the... Oh, my God, you can hear that fire now. He is in pain. Oh, my Lord, he's in pain, but he's continuing on, General Jameson.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've waited my whole life. I'm coming up on the edge of the cliff now. Oh, that really hurts. But I'm going to do it, Art.
General Jameson, do you see anything?
Yes, I do. It's a light. It's just up ahead. There it is. And it says... Chevron. God damn it, it's a gas station.
That is probably some of the most dramatic radio that I have ever been a party to. General Johnson Jameson, it sounds, was under very heavy automatic weapons fire, entered Area 51, yes, without clearance, crawled to the edge of a ridge, saw where the lights were emanating from, and saw a Chevron gas station.
Self-serve.
At the self-serve island, I got that.